Verified anchors for this breakdown? The official video runs 25:42, was uploaded on November 24, 2021, features 456 contestants, and the transcript confirms that Brawl Stars helped fund a production MrBeast says cost over $3.5 million. Multiple reports also quote him saying the split was roughly $2 million for build/production and $1.5 million in prizes. Recent public counts show about 917.9 million views, 19.9 million likes, and roughly 647,000 comments, and Mashable reported the video crossed 100 million views in just 4 days. Everything else below is a realistic modeled estimate built from those public facts, the visible production scale in the video, and MrBeast's well-documented strategy of reinvesting aggressively into increasingly massive content. This video looks like a $456,000 giveaway. It wasn't. It was a $3.50 million-plus attention machine disguised as a game show. And what most people miss is this: the prize money wasn't the crazy part. The crazy part was everything built around it. The sets, the logistics, the 456 bodies on screen, the sponsor math, the retention design. Because this wasn't just MrBeast remaking Squid Game. It was MrBeast turning the biggest show on Earth into a YouTube superweapon. And by the time this video was over, it hadn't just entertained the internet. It had printed a case study on how to buy attention and then sell it back at scale. Video concept and duration. Here's the genius of the concept. Take the most talked about series in the world. Strip out the death. Keep the tension. Then rebuild the spectacle in real life with 456 contestants and a real cash prize of $456,000. That's instantly understandable in one sentence. No explanation needed. No warm-up needed. No niche knowledge needed. You click because you already know the world. And if you don't know the world, the title still sells the idea anyway. Huge money, real people, high stakes, real-life chaos. On screen, the finished video lasts just under 26 minutes. But in reality, this was not a 26-minute production. This was likely a 5-week build window minimum, with major set construction beginning around mid-October and the upload landing November 24th. That means the audience consumes the experience in under half an hour, while the team probably spent weeks designing, building, testing, staffing, dressing, rehearsing, and editing a one-shot cultural event. And the objective is brutally simple: survive longer than everyone else. Win $456,000. That clarity matters. Every round reduces the field. Every elimination sharpens the stakes. Every surviving player becomes more valuable to the story. But here's why the idea was instantly viral. It combines 3 of the strongest forces on the internet at once: a globally recognized IP, a giant exact number cash promise, and a real-world experiment. This isn't "watch me review something." It's "watch me recreate something the entire world already cares about." That's not just content. That's collision. Participants breakdown. The number that makes this video feel expensive appears before the first game even starts: 456 people. That is not a casting detail. That is a visual effect made out of human beings. Because 456 contestants in matching green tracksuits do something psychologically powerful. They turn scale into proof. Even before anyone speaks, your brain says, "This must be real. This must be massive. This must have cost a fortune." And that reaction is exactly the point. These aren't celebrity contestants. They read like regular people, fans, open call recruits, everyday bodies dropped into an iconic world. That choice matters. Creators would make it feel like a collab. Random people make it feel like society. Now layer in the wardrobe. Matching green uniforms. Visible player numbers. Pink guard costumes. Masks. Custom vests. Elimination devices strapped to chests. That's more than cosplay. It's visual discipline. Nobody on screen is allowed to break the illusion. And that illusion multiplies cost fast. Even if each contestant package was relatively efficient at scale, you still need sizing, inventory control, backups, distribution, fitting, check-in, and replacements. Then there's gear. The contestants aren't just standing there. They're wearing custom elimination rigs that pop when they're out. They're moving through custom sets. They're being tracked through timed rounds, grouped for tug-of-war, paired for marbles, reordered for glass bridge. Every single human on screen creates a logistical tale behind them. Travel, waivers, meal planning, holding areas, safety oversight, bathroom flow, crowd wrangling, reset timing. So yes, 456 people create spectacle. But it also creates cost in the most dangerous way possible. Small costs multiplied 456 times. And that's where the budget starts behaving less like a YouTube upload and more like a live event. MrBeast team and production scale. Now let's talk about the part the audience barely sees. The machine behind the machine. A video like this doesn't run on a few friends with cameras. It likely required a shoot day crew in the 70 to 90 person range, with an even larger build team during prep. That means camera ops, assistant directors, art department, prop handlers, audio support, lighting and grip, safety staff, medics, security, contestant wranglers, PAs, set reset teams, and post-production specialists. And that's before you count construction labor during the build phase. Realistically, the camera team alone was probably 10 to 14 operators deep. Why? Because this video needs everything at once. Wide hero shots, reaction close-ups, tracking shots, overhead scale shots, bridge angles, game master angles, GoPros for dynamic inserts, redundant coverage so you never miss an elimination. Then there's the hidden complexity. Red light, green light alone requires hundreds of bodies in a giant room, elimination timing, visual verification, staff placement, game direction, crowd control, and clean coverage. Tug-of-war requires rigging and safe fall zones. Marbles requires relationship tracking, pair assignment, and multiple simultaneous storylines. Glass bridge requires timed pressure, stunt-safe drop mechanics, and controlled chaos. And the final round requires stripping the game down to something that still feels tense, still feels fair, and still makes sense to a global audience in seconds. This is why the operation was almost certainly multi-day, even if the main competition itself was compressed hard. 1 day to test. 1 day to run the primary competition. Possible additional windows for pickups, beauty shots, inserts, sponsor integration, and safety resets. So when viewers think, wow, this is a big YouTube video, the better comparison is this. It's closer to a compact reality special than a normal upload. And that's exactly why it felt impossible to ignore. Video performance. Now for the number that changes everything. Today, the official video sits at roughly 917.9 million views. That is not a hit. That is infrastructure. Add about 19.9 million likes and around 647,000 comments, and you're looking at one of the most dominant individual uploads in YouTube history. But the speed matters just as much as the total. Mashable reported the video passed 100 million views in 4 days. That means this wasn't a slow-burn library asset at first. It detonated. And that performance matters financially because the bigger the launch, the stronger every downstream effect becomes. Higher sponsor proof. Higher recommendation velocity. More press coverage. More subscriber conversion. More translated channel value. More long-tail browsing from people discovering older MrBeast content. Now let's talk RPM. For this kind of broad, brand-safe, high-retention entertainment video, a realistic blended lifetime RPM range is about $3 to $10. That range matters because MrBeast has a huge international audience, and global views usually pull the average down compared to a US-heavy business channel. But this video also has several things working in its favor. A long runtime, massive watch time, family-safe appeal, and premium advertiser demand around a cultural moment. So the realistic midpoint I'd use is about $5.50 RPM. Not low. Not fantasy. Just strong, blended monetization for a monster entertainment upload. And that's where the real math starts. Revenue breakdown. A. YouTube ad revenue. Let's run the formula exactly the way a finance breakdown should. Views divided by 1,000, multiplied by RPM. That lands at roughly $5.05 million in YouTube ad revenue. If we use the full user-requested RPM range, The spread looks like this. At $3 RPM, about $2.75 million. At $5.50 RPM, about $5.05 million. At $10 RPM, about $9.18 million. That's a huge range. And it tells you something important. This video may have looked expensive on day one, but once it became a permanent evergreen giant, the ad engine alone likely turned it into a monster. Sponsorship revenue. Now here's the twist. This video wasn't relying on AdSense alone. The transcript explicitly confirms Brawl Stars helped fund the production. The exact sponsorship fee was never publicly confirmed. So here's the realistic estimate. For a video of this scale, this placement, and this launch velocity, a plausible direct sponsor payment range is $1.8 million to $2.6 million. My midpoint estimate is $2.2 million. Why so high? Because this is not a 30-second baked-in ad on a normal upload. It's a sponsor attached to a once-a-year cultural event. Other revenue sources. Now for the part most people underestimate. The video didn't just make money directly. It increased the value of the entire MrBeast ecosystem. More subscribers. More returning viewers. More future sponsor leverage. More traffic into older uploads. More proof that he could execute at scale. So I model an indirect halo value of around $600,000 to $1.2 million, with a midpoint of $900,000. Dollar banknote total revenue estimate. Ad revenue, $5.05 million. Sponsor revenue, $2.20 million. Other ecosystem value, $0.90 million. Total modeled revenue, $8.15 million. Full cost breakdown. A. Set design and location. This is where the cost explodes first. Because the illusion only works if the audience instantly recognizes the world. That puts set design and location at roughly $1.05 million. Production cost. Camera, crew, and post-production bring total production to about $450,000. Participant cost. Human logistics total roughly $220,000. Daily operations. Around $100,000. Prize money. Totals $1.5 million. Special elements. Another $100,000. Hidden costs. Roughly $180,000. Total modeled cost. Money with wings $3.60 million. Now the question everyone actually cares about. Did this thing make money? Using the midpoint model, total revenue, $8.15 million. Total cost, $3.60 million. Estimated profit, $4.55 million. Now let's turn the scale into sharper metrics. Cost per view, $0.0039. Revenue per view, $0.0089. ROI, 126%. Now let's zoom out. This upload told the world something simple. MrBeast is no longer just a guy who makes YouTube videos. He is a builder of events. This video did not just make money. It increased the value of the MrBeast name. This is where the video becomes brilliant. Because financially, yes, it's huge. But psychologically, it's even sharper. Instant comprehension. Countdown tension. Mini-finals. Emotional rotation. Visible fairness. Persistent prize visibility. Retention-aware sponsorship timing. Controlled unpredictability. Now let's break down why this thing was built to spread. The title. The thumbnail. The one-line pitch. The timing. The cultural wave. So when you look at this video, don't just see a giant challenge. See what it really was. A multimillion-dollar blueprint. A sponsor-shielded risk. A retention machine. A brand expansion play. A cultural hijack executed with precision. The prize was $456,000. The real product was attention. And somehow, this still wasn't just a YouTube video. It was proof that on the modern internet, if you can hold attention long enough, a fake death game can become a real financial engine. And the wildest part? This wasn't the end of the escalation. This was the initial warning. Because after a video like this, the next impossible upload doesn't feel impossible anymore. It feels expected.